Hey Red Jen, this is Wednesday Wisdom, and today we're going to talk about a pretty tough topic when it comes to being human, and that is our inclination to live to please other people, or what is simply called people pleasing. Now, every person that I know, including myself, has had to deal with and wrestle with this idea. And just as a disclaimer, do not be ashamed if you have or have had this mindset. If any time is the time to change, this is it. Have you ever been told this phrase, just stop caring what people think? And well, if you're anything like me, that advice was never really enough. And I spent years, especially in middle school, caring about other people's perspective of me. Now, I have a lot of beef with this idea of being driven to please other people, and we're going to talk about why in just a second. But first up, I want to ask you a few questions. When was the last time that you did something to be acknowledged by another person? Why are we so driven to maintain approval by people who are just as human as us? Why do we look for approval in things that can be taken away as easily as it is given to us? Well, this may be because of a few things. Maybe you have a competitive nature and want to be the best in everything you do. Maybe you want others to be impressed by you, or maybe, like I was, you're stuck in a state of comparison. The truth is, in today's culture, there is a whole criteria of things that we are told to measure ourselves up against, and these things are constantly changing. God tells us that we are set apart, and today I want to challenge you that you will never grow by constantly measuring yourself up against another person, and the energy that we place in trying to gain approval is being wasted when we could be using it to be who we are called to be. We can't feed off of what the world feeds off of and think that it is going to sustain us, and we often miss our calling when we're confining ourselves to what others want from us. We often replace God's promises with the perspectives of other people, which holds no eternal value. Stephen Furtick recently spoke on a similar topic, and he said, if you follow the clap of the crowd, what is it going to be like when the people you live to please stop watching? Jesus came down to earth and died to save the very people that despised him and who eventually crucified him on the cross. If not even Jesus, who was completely perfect, could please everyone, then we don't stand a chance. Jesus tells us directly in Matthew 6 verse 33 to most importantly strive after his kingdom and his righteousness, which is his way of doing and being right, the attitude and character of God, and all these things will be given to you. Living to please the world stops when we realize who we are and what we are called to do as God's children. Pastor Claude recently said this in one of his messages. He said, are you more afraid of these things, being judged and doubted by other people, or of displeasing God? And I would encourage each and every one of us today that if we are going to compare ourselves to anyone, let it be Jesus. Let's live and love today with God as our audience. And I don't know about you, but I would rather live to please the God who created me and died to save me than any other person on earth.